Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just got done watching the short track of the World Cup series in Andorra right now for the women's. It was super epic. If you guys don't follow the World Cup series on Red Bull TV, it's free to watch and all that stuff on redbulltv.com. Super competitive even in the men's and the women's field. But today we're going to be doing a video on chain wax and how to wax your chain and if it's better than chain lube. So I'm sure there's a bunch of different kinds of wax out there for chains, but I use Molten Speed Wax. They're a pretty cool company. They don't do any kind of sponsorship or anything like that for me, but I just happen to use them, and they're super cool guys over there. I switched over to wax maybe like a year ago, and it's probably the best thing that I've ever done for my bike. It is so much cleaner, it's so much nicer to work on your bike, and it just keeps everything running like 20 times more efficient. Although it does take a few extra minutes than rather just taking the chain lube bottle and going over your chain like some of you may do, because you have to dip the chain, you have to take the chain off and dip it in the wax. I'm going to show you. But it does take a few extra minutes. It is fully worth those few extra minutes for all the benefits that you receive. Alright, so I'm going to go inside to show you how to get your chain prepared for waxing. Wax your chain. For those of you who don't believe that the drivetrain is clean with chain wax, try to get a close-up of the cassette here. Look how clean that is. Not a single bit of dirt on it. I can touch it. Look, hand, perfectly clean. Cogs here and the derailleur, perfectly clean. Chain ring, perfectly clean. Not an ounce of dirt or anything like that is picked up like it is with a wet lube or anything like that. And it's kind of similar to, I don't know if you've seen Wend Wax. It's like the little deodorant stick looking thing that's colorful. It's similar to that, but with Wend Wax, you're not going to get as great as coverage as you would with dipping the chain in the wax like you do with Molten Speed Wax or anything that's similar to Molten Speed Wax. Alright, so I set up this little backdrop here as my garage is not very aesthetically pleasing, I guess you would say. This is the ultrasonic cleaner right here. You use this with hot water. You pour some hot water in this little thing here, and then you use the Purple Power degreaser, a little bit of that, and you can set it for the longest time possible for a new chain, or if you're just starting out waxing your chain. You don't have to do this every time you wax the chain, you just have to do it when you first start waxing the chain or on a new chain. And you can do it as many times as you want in here. I don't have a chain too necessarily ultrasonically clean because all mine are already waxed up and ready to go and ready to be re-waxed. But after you're done with the ultrasonic cleaning part, you're going to dump it in whatever's water left in this little container, and you're just going to rinse off everything and then make sure it's fairly dry before you put it in the wax. And I'm going to link all this stuff in the description. This is just like a Harbor Freight ultrasonic cleaner. I'll link the Purple Power, I'll link the Molten Speed Wax, and then I'll link this little like $10 crock pot off Amazon. It's just like a tiny little thing. You pour this, you put the wax in there. This is how the wax looks when you first, before you start using it. You put the wax in there, and it's obviously not on right now because the wax is hardened. I'm going to turn it on in a bit and wax the chain on my training bike here to show you guys how to do that. Like I said before, as long as you have cleaned the chain and stuff like that, and you've already waxed it once, you don't have to clean it every time, unless it's just like really like rusty or something like that. Like let's say you forgot to dry your bike off or something like that. If you washed it, you can re-clean it in this, but you really don't have to. You can just put it in the wax again, and after you like wash the bike or something and you make sure the chain's dry, and you can put it in the wax again. Alright, so I'm going to plug this crock pot in, and then I'm going to go watch the men's short track race of the Andorra World Cup race, and then I'll be back once the wax is nice and melted up. And then we'll dip the chain in there and do the rest of the stuff. Alrighty, just got back from watching the World Cup race, the short track. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't watched it yet, but it was pretty good. It could have been better. I'm not really as interested in it right now because Matthew van der Poel's not there. I'm kind of a big Matthew van der Poel fanboy, so I can't wait till next week when he's or next weekend when he's racing. But yeah, the wax is melted up, so I'm gonna take the chain off, and I would suggest that every time, or when you initially take that chain off, that you mark the order that it goes back on. so that it stays in that order all the time, and make sure the quick link is in the same orientation that it is all the time, just to prevent any kind of mishaps that can happen with the drivetrain. Real quick though, I'm going to get rid of my little backdrop thing because I don't want to get any wax on or anything like that. I would suggest setting up some rags just so you don't get wax on your table or floor or anything like that. And then we use these little metal hooks right here, like little metal pieces, and that can hold the quick links and the chain. Alright, so I got my chain laid out right here, and then both master links. I like to do the master links first, because it's easier. You just kind of mix these around in there, tap them off, and then lay them back out to dry. Alright, so I got both the master links done. I'm just going to lay the chain right here, and then just let it drop in there. And we're just going to, oh, I messed up this one piece right here. Now we're just going to mix the wax all around so everything gets nice and evenly coated. You can do this for, I would say, about 30 seconds to a minute. Alright, so now once you think everything's evenly coated, you can stick your little metal tool in there, grab the chain out. Actually, I just realized I forgot to put towels down. I like to put it on the handlebar of my bike. So I'm just going to grab the chain out. I'm going to drip off a little bit right here. Then we're going to set it up and we're just going to let it dry. You want to make sure that you turn your crock pot off, and you also want to make sure that you unplug it, because if you don't, it'll smell like crayons in your garage or wherever you wax your chain, and that will suck. So now that all that's done, we're just gonna let it dry. It's kind of difficult because it's hot outside in Florida right now for it to dry quickly. It'll take a little while, but here it is right here. I got it set up on the handlebar, like I said, with the little metal piece. We're just gonna let that dry, and then for putting it back on, you just want to make sure you use the same direction like I told you about earlier. You're gonna put it on, and you're just gonna spin through the gears. Let all the excess chain wax come off on the ground, sweep it up, and then it'll take about 30 minutes or so to wear it all in, and then it'll be super smooth, and you'll be good for about 200 to 400 miles depending on, or from my experience, 200 to 400 miles depending on what kind of terrain you're riding on. I can get about probably around 300 out of it on a mountain bike with trails and stuff all the time. But on a road, you could probably at least get 400 out of it. Alright guys, so there you go, that's how you wax a chain. I personally think waxing the chain is better than putting lube on it, just for efficiency, and it just keeps your drivetrain like so much cleaner, which means that the drivetrain's going to be more efficient. It's going to have less wear and tear on it because it's not picking up sand all the time. And although the upfront cost of chain waxing is a little bit more expensive than lube, I think it's way more beneficial in the long term. I think it's about maybe like $100 to get all the stuff you need to wax your chain, and I'll link all the stuff that I use in the description. I'll link the ultrasonic cleaner, the purple power, the crock pot, and the Molten Speed Wax. By no means do you have to use those specific items. I just figured I'd link them down below anyways. I'm going to continue using Molten Speed Wax and just waxing my chain in general for the rest of my cycling career, because I think it's way better than anything I've ever used. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video on how to wax your chain, and if chain wax is better than chain lube. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like on it. Let me know down below what kind of stuff you guys use on your drivetrain, if you guys use our wax already, or if you use chain lube, or if you after this video it convinced you to switch to the wax. I'm thinking about switching my upload schedule just because I noticed that Saturday's videos don't do as well as Wednesday's videos, and I would assume that's because more people are out having fun on Saturday than they are just sitting at home waiting for the next day to come for like work days on Wednesday, But if you guys think that I should switch my upload schedule, I'm thinking maybe like Tuesday, Friday. Subscribe if you guys want to see more epic content, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.